Hey class, hope everyone is getting ready for the weekend, ready to relax a little. Wanted to stop by and just touch bases over Module 6 as we are going into the sentencing chapter. In this chapter, it talks about sentencing. When we talk about sentencing, there are several different theories or philosophies, if you will say, is why do we have sentencing and punishment? What is the purpose of it? Some say it's deterrence, incapacitation, rehabilitation, restoration, to restore. So there's different takes on that as to what is the overarching goal and objective with punishment. In this chapter, we look at the evolution kind of that. We're going to talk to you about indeterminate sentencing as well as determinate sentencing. Indeterminate sentencing, it's like a little catchy phrase like indecisive. Indeterminate sentencing allows for judicial discretion. So indeterminate sentencing, there's a minimum and a maximum, but anything in between, the judge has a discretion as to how the punishment will be rendered. Determinate sentencing actually has a definite, defined punishment. If somebody under determinate sentencing states, if someone is sentenced to 5 years or whatever at the day of their sentencing, they will also know the day of their possible early release. There's no discretion in that. Whereas indeterminate sentencing, there's just a range, and then once you reach that, you can go to the court system. So the judge may move this way, may not rule that way. Some of the arguments against indeterminate sentencing is a disparity that is there among offenders. For someone who may have committed the same crime with essentially the same circumstances, in an indeterminate sentencing state, the punishment and outcome can vary drastically, as opposed to in a determinate sentencing state where everyone is kind of treated the same. The punishment is fair across the board there. So the advocates of indeterminate sentencing, why would somebody be a proponent for it, is those who really align with the rehabilitation model of sentencing, saying that we're not trying to punish, we want to help. We want to help to make them whole, to get them back, to make it so they can become productive citizens in society. Therefore, we're not looking to just punish them. We want them to be able to go back. So if they are progressing and doing things, they should get early release. We can look at things and look at each person on a case-by-case situation. So advocates of the indeterminate sentencing usually align with that view of the purpose of punishment is rehabilitation. Again, some of the adversaries or people who are opposed to it talks about they criticize how there's a large disparity among offenders and how someone is treated. With indeterminate sentencing, one step taken to address the problem associated with indeterminate sentencing was the enacting of structured sentencing law. Structured sentencing. And structured sentencing is discussed on 201 of your case. And that was something that they came up with to try to help kind of soften the blow or alleviate some of the problems associated with indeterminate sentencing. Also, another thing that came up with is the 3 strikes law, which that totally took away judicial discretion. 3 strike law essentially say if a person commits this crime on the 3rd time, it's automatic. They're sentenced to this. There's no discretion. There's no discussion. It doesn't matter what those previous crimes were before. If it fell under that ream of the 3 strike, and then that last thing that you did is like baseball. 3 strikes and you're out. So in this chapter, really looking at the video highlights the victim impact statements. Do you feel like victim impact statements should be included or be a part of the sentencing process? Does it really sway the judge's decision one way or the other? Or is it an opportunity for, let's say, the individuals to put stuff in and say things that may not necessarily have been discussed, or the legality of it may not have been discussed throughout the case? So thinking about that as far as what is the purpose and if we should have victim impact statements under sentencing, because again, that's in there. It talks about your pre-sentencing report, information that's included in the pre-sentencing report. Understanding that a pre-sentencing report is just that. It's something that the judge has to review prior to your sentencing, and that encompasses everything. It's not just let's look at this case and what happened there. No, When we talk about a pre-sentencing report, we're talking about your family history, the criminal background, your school history. They're taking everything into account when they're thinking about sentencing you. Again, those in indeterminate sentencing states. So I wanted to come on and just touch bases, go over a little bit of that with you. Make sure you watch the video in there. It also talks about the death penalty in your book, so be able to look at and talk about what states actually still have the death penalty. We are quickly wrapping up this semester. We are approaching the home stretch, as you can see, so you can get ready to breathe. I know it's been a lot, but you can get ready to breathe. Some of you still have not completed some of your discussion board assignments. Please make sure you log on and complete those. I've sent a couple of you emails who are missing assignments. Make sure you log on and get that in. I am working on the Module 5 discussion boards. It looks like I got about half of them completed for those of you who submitted it. Those of you who have not, please log on and submit it, or I will have to submit a withdrawal for you from this class if you have excessive absences and or missing assignments. I will have to submit a drop form for you for the class. So other than that, I don't have anything else I wanted to say. I just wanted to come by, touch bases with you as we're talking about the sentencing phase. Next week we go into evidence and the relevance of evidence and the different types of evidence. So I think that's going to be a great module to discuss as we're talking about this in the court procedure and evidence class. So I am enjoying this class so far. I hope you are all enjoying this class. Please feel free to shoot me an email, stop by the office, call me if anything comes up, or if you are having any issues or concerns. If not, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.